What's up, team? Happy Sunday. Merry Christmas. Happy almost New Year. It's all good. We are prepping for a partial week next week. Again, we have the holiday. So the name of the game, again, this week is just keeping things pretty simple. Obviously, nothing too fancy in terms of our grocery list, our recipes that we're focusing on. And I will show you some of my prep, but I do want to share with you just a little bit about how I'm recycling some of my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day leftovers and trying to recycle those ingredients, but also amplify our snack game for myself, the kids, everybody in our family. So I just wanted to show you some of those things first, and then I'll get into our recipes and how we're going to prepare for a successful, busy week together. So I wanted to show you what I did for lunch because this was completely on the fly. It was not planned. I looked at what I had in my refrigerator and just kind of threw this very basic lunch together. It turned out to be awesome. And it gave me all of the elements. So perfect macro meal here. And all I did was I recycled some of the things that I already had in my fridge from my cheese board from Christmas Eve. I'm a big cheese board person, but I don't necessarily love having all of that leftover cheese. So my advice to you on that, bringing a cheese board to someone's home for an event is a really great call because then you're not stuck with the leftovers. If you are stuck with the leftovers, like we are, and you don't want them to go to waste, but you don't want to necessarily just snack on cheese boards every single night, I turned mine into a little antipasti salad. So I had some Italian meats that I tossed in there, some good sources of protein. I had some fresh mozzarella, which pairs really nice with beets. So I got some roasted beets, roasted them in the oven for about 20 to 25. I tossed some pistachios in there for crunch and then just put a hard-boiled egg for some extra protein, cucumber, tomato, some olive oil drizzle, and some lemon juice. So nothing fancy, very basic, but it hit all my boxes for a macro meal, and it was something to just mix it up. So obviously we have our honey mustard chicken, which we'll be focusing on. If you're meal prepping for a spouse or for more people than just yourself, obviously again you'll have to kind of adjust the grocery list as needed. Look at the serving sizes on those meals so that you can prepare. So I doubled the chicken. That's something that we'll have all week, as well as some veggies over here. I actually broke out my air fryer for the first time today. So instead of roasting sweet potatoes, I just tossed them in the air fryer, and we have some sweet potato fries that I'm really excited about. Another way that we're going to recycle some cheese board ingredients, I picked up some cantaloupe, which is really nice just to have by itself. Really great kid snack, and adult snack. So if you're craving something sweet, you can replace that cookie that you're gonna grab or something sweet that you would normally grab and munch on some cantaloupe. And I did some prosciutto wrapped cantaloupe for the kids. They actually loved it. I found this snack on a website. I was just kind of researching a few weeks ago about healthy snacks for kids that have some hyperactive tendencies. So my children are not hyperactive per se, but they will be home with me instead of in school. They'll be burning less energy. I think they'll be outside less because of our weather here in Pennsylvania. So I wanted to just have some healthy things for them on hand in the afternoon when they would normally reach for a bag of chips or something with a lot of salt, fat, or sugar. So this is a really great kid snack option. And I also stocked up on the basics: apples, bananas, peanut butter, almond butter. We have our nuts, our almonds, our pistachios, our cashews, our staple items that we like to have in order to be prepared for a successful week. So I prepped some chili yesterday. I wanted to give you guys really basic breakfast, lunch, dinner, meal prep options. So if those three recipes were a bit aggressive and maybe you want to plug into one or two. If you want to break up your meal prep, I like to kind of break it up and focus on maybe one or two things on Saturday, one or two things on Sunday. You can shift. You can focus on maybe prepping one or two things Sunday, one or two things Monday, or whatever days of the week work for you, whatever is going to help you create a meal prep schedule that is the least amount of stress. Some people like to get it all done in the kitchen all day on Sunday, and then you're done. I've found pros and cons to both ways. So it's kind of whatever works for you when you're looking at your schedule for the week and what would be best for you and your family. You also want to take note of certain events that you have going on this week and block out time. If you don't have concrete dinner plans, let's say you're going to a holiday party, you know there's going to be alcohol and apps, set aside a macro meal that you're going to want to eat ahead of time so that you're not munching on different apps all night and, drinking kind of like mindlessly, because you'll wake up the next morning and feel like garbage. And those things, those are inevitable. The holidays are about enjoying food and family and friends and all of the good things that come with a holiday. But what we want to do is sort of 80-20 it, bounce back, be resilient, find the balance in meal prep, creating balanced macro meals, and then block out the occasions that you really want to splurge. Because if you're splurging every single time, every event adds up, every weekend adds up, right? So if your weekend is starting Thursday or Friday, it carries through Sunday, you're going to be kind of sluggish going into the next week. So we want to be fueled. We want to be taking care of business. We want to be having the conversations with our clients, frankly, that we need to be having with ourselves a lot of the time. We need to be having those check-ins. This is obviously a notorious time of year for every business owner to kind of look at the goals that they're setting for 2021, blocking off the time to have these accountability calls and these consultations and check-ins, times that we're reevaluating our goals and things like that. We also want to be, as much as we're doing these things for our clients, we also want to be looking inward as much as possible and having these sort of check-ins with ourselves here and there. And I know that, new year, new me, that's something that can be looked at as cliche. I find we all know that, there is never a perfect time to want to change and to take the steps to change. It doesn't have to be a Monday. It doesn't have to be a fresh month. It doesn't have to be a new year. But there is something to be said about creating that mindset that it's a fresh year. We have fresh opportunities. We have the luxury to look inward and check in with ourselves. How are we with our goal? How close are you to your goal that you set, your wellness goal? If you have not created a wellness goal, let's start to think about these things. And when you're asking yourself, okay, so what are my wellness goals? What would make me feel better? What is it that I'm desiring about changing about myself for the future, for the next year, the next 6 months, the next 2 years, whatever the case may be, and having these conversations, because if we're not looking inward, then it doesn't get done. And if we're not showing up as the best version of ourselves consistently, then that will hinder the way that we are coaching other people as well. We want to be showing up as the best version of ourselves so that we can offer more and give more. And that will require pouring into you first. So I challenge you, if you have not created your why, or if you have not really set any sort of intention or wellness goal, if you have a goal but you're just not sure how to get there, let's have a consultation. Let's create the first few steps together. And I'd love to hear your challenges and the things that are getting in your way. That's been kind of hindering your progress so far. So I challenge you to really just take a look at those things. What are my goals for 2021? How can I show up as the best version of myself? What sort of changes would I love to make in my life in order to amplify my level of wellness and health? Because at the end of the day, if we don't have our health, nothing else really matters. And at the end of the day, we just want to be walking the walk. We want to be the best example that we can be for our kids. So if you're taking my advice, if you're buying the cantaloupe, if you're Googling the healthy kid snacks, and you have all of the things, but you're not actually applying it to your life, then what's the point, right? So if you're doing all of the things, and if you're blocking off the time for meal prep, if you are blocking off the time for exercise, if you're meditating, if you're doing all the things and you're still not seeing the results that you want to see, then I want to have that conversation with you. I want to get these calls regularly on the books. We've also briefly talked about the idea of open office hours, so that's something that we can totally explore as a team if that's something that you're interested in. But please share your feedback with me, because my goal is for all of you to get the most out of this wellness program. And in order to do that, I need to hear from you. So I need to hear your challenges that you're facing, what sort of things, how can you create a goal setting conversation or consultation. We can talk about all of those things in order for you to show up as the best version of yourself, amplify your health and wellness, and your overall life. Because I don't know one person that wouldn't want a healthier, balanced, more fulfilled life. It's just facts. It's just, right? That's the reason that we're here. So I hope you found this session valuable. I hope you plugged into some of the recipes for the week. Definitely check out the wellness schedule posted for this week. Block off those times for workouts, meditation, all of the things that will help us de-stress, show up stronger, and be better. All right, happy Sunday, and I will see you next time.